Living in trees can provide access to food and protection from predators. Unfortunately, for animals that can't fly, it can be very difficult to get around. Some use branch highways to travel. Others launch themselves with reckless abandon. And others have to go the long way and climb down and up trees. But a very select group of animals have developed ways to seemingly fly without wings. These are nature's gliders. Gliding is traveling through the sky without a power source. Some birds can fly to the sky and glide for days, but gliding is a little more complicated for mammals. Sugar glider, for instance, is very small and agile. It can glide between branchy trees with such grace that it's also known as the rope dancer. The trade-off is that they can't glide for very long distances as their patagia are very small. In the air, they look like parachuting ballerinas, but unfortunately, their landings are not always smooth. Dracos have colorful patagia and an extra flap of skin under their throat that acts as a stabilizing rudder. Their long glides help them ambush insects on nearby trees. Like flying squirrels, they use their tail to steer themselves for increased hunting accuracy. In classic nature fashion, their patagia have another use. Unlike other animals in this episode, flying snakes don't have any specialized appendages to glide. To move from tree to tree, they jump off a branch and make themselves wider by flattening their rib cages. By doing this, they can make themselves twice as wide as normal. Then, they move in an undulating motion to create a pseudo-disc. They don't spin like a frisbee, but the constant undulation creates the right aerodynamic conditions for gliding. Fortunately for us, they're relatively tiny at about 1 meter and eat small prey. The coolest one of them is probably Wallace's flying frog. They're one of the largest flying frogs, and their feet have evolved to be cartoonishly big. In case of a predator emergency, they jump off their tree. Though not as accomplished as other gliders, they can still glide up to 50 meters. Flying fish. Flying fish have been around since before dinosaurs roamed the earth. Today, there are about 60 species. They're not closely related to the earliest flying fish, but share their two most important features. They have strong spines to keep them rigid while gliding, and modified pectoral fins that act as wings. To glide, flying fish get a swimming start and leap out of the water, opening their pectoral fins at the right moment to generate lift. This technique allows them to glide for over 50 meters, though under the right conditions, they can glide for hundreds of meters, reach heights of over 6 meters, and be airborne for over 40 seconds. A nice respite from predators.